Hey, welcome to The Guide. I'm Yo.
And I'm Will.
And this is our weekly update. And why are you so much taller than me?
I'm trying to...
I'm like slouching?
I'm working, my mom always told me, stand up straight, so...
I'm not used to you sitting up straight. I'm used to being the taller one. Okay. Anyway, this week is a very big week because... The summer officially starts with the release of The Avengers, the movie that we've been waiting for 5 movies.
Right? Yeah.
They've been working on this ever since Iron Man came out, and now it's here. And how stoked are you?
I'm excited, and I think part of that is because they've not only been working on it since Iron Man, but they've been teasing it since Iron Man.
Yes, they
with
have.
All the end of the movie trailers and things, so... I'm excited, but I'm also scared because I really want it to be good. And
Everybody does.
If it's not, I'm just gonna lose faith.
Fear not, my friend, because I will tell you this much: it is good. They pulled it off. The one thing a lot of people, more than that, are concerned about is it kid friendly.
Yeah.
Rated PG-13. I'm going to tell you this right now. The PG-13 rating, I think, is more for reputation. Because for whatever reason, people would not take this movie as seriously if it was PG.
Gotcha, yeah.
That's just the way fanboys are.
Yeah.
So, there is a lot of violence. It's an action-intense movie. But think of like Captain America. It's very similar to that.
Kind of conservative violence where there's...
It's like cartoony violence.
Not so much blood going everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a lot of gore, but lots of fisticuffs and whatnot. There is one fairly intense scene, which isn't really gory, but it's pretty brutal and it's pretty intense, and it's the only scene that I would tell my kids, okay, don't watch this part. My kids are 10 and 7. Would I take them to this? Yes, and they'd be fine. They've watched Captain America. So, is it okay for kids? If you're okay with comic book violence, and there's a lot of that in here, then yes. And there is one scene that's pretty intense and a little bit more suggestively violent than the rest. Okay. But other than that, I would say, sure, my kids are fine with it, but they were raised watching the Justice League. And
you have like the ultimate comic book children in your house. I really do.
So. They're both named after comic book characters, so there you go. So that answers the whole is it okay for my kids family question. I don't think I would take anyone under the age of like 6 or 7. Yeah. But over that, they should be fine. But again, it depends on how you've raised them. I mean, if they've seen comic book violence and they understand it's not real and so, then it should be fine. But moving past that, let's talk about the other aspect of the Avengers coming out this weekend, which is the final Dark Knight Rises trailer at the beginning of the movie. You had a chance to see the trailer. What'd you think of it? Especially kind of comparing it to the lighthearted, bright, fun, comic booky feel of Avengers. Well, it's going to be a contrast between seeing the trailer and the movie.
Oh yeah, it looks like night and day compared to the Avengers. But what really intrigues me about this movie trailer is this looks like, even if Batman wasn't in this movie, it looks like a movie I'd want to see because there's so many characters and plot development going on, and then all of a sudden Batman swoops out of the night, and it's like, oh yeah, Batman's here.
It's a Batman movie. Yeah.
So I'm intrigued by it. It just looks like a really cool movie.
Yeah, and again, it's going to stir up all that speculation. Does Batman die at the end? Because this is the end of Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, and he has said it is going to be a conclusive ending. There's not going to be, oh, we could probably spin off and make more movies. This is going to be it. When Warner Brothers makes another Batman movie, they're going to have to start over, and that's what Christopher Nolan... So everyone's saying, does that mean Batman dies? It's Bane. Bane broke Batman's back back in the 90s. Right. So he's a vicious villain, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And then the other thing worth talking about is, of course, the new Call of Duty. Call of Duty comes out every year.
Black Ops Dos.
Black Ops Dos. What are your thoughts on what's been shown from Black Ops 2 so far?
Well, Call of Duty games have reached that point where it's kind of the same game with a few different...
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3
here.
For me was the low point. I mean, it was a well-made game, but it was so same old, I just couldn't stomach it.
And I mean, I guess the whole theme of this new Black Ops is what happens when things go wrong. Like, when enemies get a hold of your technology and use it against you.
Which is a cool idea.
It is a cool thing, and it's a very plausible idea, too. And so, but as far as gameplay, I'm curious to see if anything is going to be different.
Well, they've mentioned branching storylines for the single player. Right. Which is great, because one of the biggest issues with Call Call of Duty games is it's so linear.
Yes.
It's like a shooting gallery. You just go from point A to point B, and guys pop up and you shoot them.
Follow the guided line.
Yeah. And so having branching storylines, interesting idea, and also the idea that you can select which missions you want to go on.
Yes.
With your strike force, and then also the possibility that you can select what objectives to do and in what order while you're in the mission.
I think it'll help to give the player that kind of independence in the game, because it's not going to feel like you're just being, escorted
from one place to the other.
Exactly, yeah.
And they haven't said anything about the multiplayer yet, but the near future setting and the idea of having some cool gadgets and different weapons and stuff, I think could add a lot to that multiplayer and kind of freshen it up a little bit, so I'm looking forward to that.
And then I'm always curious to see what they're going to do for there's always the token mini game, Survivor or Zombies
they've hinted at the zombies coming back for Black Ops 2, which of course was a big success with the first Black Ops, so that'll be interesting to see what direction they take that in.
Definitely.
But the near future setting, branching storylines, and the possibility that multiplayer will not just be fun to play, but also to watch. That's all they've said about it, so I'm intrigued by that. It's like, oh, really? I could watch other people doing multiplayer? That could be interesting. There's a lot of intriguing things that I hope will make the series fresh again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm really hoping, because Modern Warfare 3 was so much the same old. I was done with Call of Duty. I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with the next one. And then I saw the trailer, and I saw some of the things they're going to do.
It sucked you back in.
It sucked me back in, absolutely. You can actually watch that trailer and get some of the details on the upcoming Black Ops 2, which will be coming out this November at GameAndMovieGuide.com. Also got new comic book reviews for you to check out, courtesy of Astro Zombies at our website. And I think that should wrap it up for this week. I mean, those two things, Avengers, Batman, that's like the whole weekend.
That's some pretty important news right there.
That's all there is to talk about, really. Which is pretty much all we talked about anyway.
If you want to give us your opinions on if you see the Avengers this weekend, comment on our Facebook. It's facebook.com/Game and Movie Guide. You can find us on Google Plus as well.
And you can also follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
And of course, for all the reviews and much, much more, check out GameAndMovieGuide.com, or our friends over at Hollywood Jesus also have lots of opinions on this as well, so visit them at HollywoodJesus.com.